There we go. Perfect. Those leans. There we go.
Getting advertisement.
Advertisements. Advertisements. See, advertisements, dance and song.
All right, I can hear you.
I don't understand the last quote that Quinn said, but Adam and I are here.
In costume.
Sort of. I'm sort of in costume.
You're in a costume.
I'm wearing a onesie. Cassidy will be here, but she's running late because her costume decided to have a crisis. So, but she will also be here. So once again, everybody will be blessed with me and my two MCs. So we'll be good. How's the audio? Does it sound okay?
I think so.
I'm not going to wear this the entire time because it's very warm, but I do have a child as well. This is my
profile.
Cappy.
And slowly.
Child.
Okay, don't go profile.
Oh, go profile? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, wait, like this?
No, on the sides, they can see the
I'm so confused. You want to see the costume? Is that what you want?
No, the capybara. Like all we saw was his snoot, and he isn't very
his
clearly.
Profile.
Yeah.
There he is. Look at him. He's got fiends in his butt. Just like me. All right, I'm gonna put my son down here. All right. So we're not actually here to just wear silly costumes and
mostly here to wear silly costumes.
Yeah, we're mostly here to wear silly costumes. But also this is a book release stream, so I should probably post about this a few places, share this out if I can figure out how to do so. Share. I'm just gonna grab the link and go do it because I don't trust this. All right, so if I'm staring into the middle distance, it's because I'm sharing this link around here for a sec. Talk amongst yourselves.
What could we possibly have to talk about amongst ourselves without you here?
I don't even know. I couldn't tell you.
We could talk about how disappointing Firelight is, sneaking in once again.
Stop saying bad things about Firelight.
I don't know. It seems a reasonable thing to talk about amongst each other.
Giorgio is here. I don't know if y'all can see her. You can kind of see her.
Good detail.
I can see Adam's screen from here, so I can tell. All right, let's see. We got those two. Where else is? Would you stop destroying my chair?
All right. Crook Manser is suggesting rethinking the terminology of a book release. Maybe a book unleashing.
A book. Attacking. A book attacking. Don't do that to my chair, miss. Yeah, why don't you just come here and be a nice kitty? Instead of trying to destroy my chair all the time. Okay, all right. This is not helping me spread the word about my stream.
And you're like, I'm such a cute kitty.
Dad's over there. You like Dad better than me anyway.
But I need to be on camera.
Yeah, she's torn. She's like, I want to be with Dad, but I want to be on camera.
Hedgehog is with us until their internet or battery decides to die.
Welcome, Hedgehog. Perhaps you can win a free copy of this book, and then you will be forced to read it. But you probably will have to finish the first one.
We have a question from Quinn. Do you know how the numbers are assigned in a little, like, I'm a number 2, AME is a number 2, Firelight's a number 1, Quincy is a number 3.
I honestly don't know a whole lot about streaming on YouTube. I do it, but I don't understand it. I imagine it has something to do with how much people have commented, because I know it can't be like watchers of my channel, because Adam doesn't watch my channel super often. So it's got to be to do with the streams. So I don't know. And Adam might be higher up because he's an admin.
This does remind me, I'm supposed to change the chat settings somewhere so that I can actually.
Oh, somebody's getting ads, says in a
Mhm.
few. It warns me now. I don't think it used to do that, but now it warns me that you're going to get ads in like 40 seconds. So that's nice of it. That or I just never noticed before. Okay, Croakmancer says that, yeah, it's a comment-based thing. Note that I'm not in there. I've opted out. What did you opt out of? I don't know. Because I'm only reading the chat partially.
Book birthday.
Book birthday. It is a book birthday. My child, my other child, not this child, and not this child, but my book child was over here. This is obviously the proof copy, because it's got the little thing across, but this is what I have. So this is basically, oh, we got ads. I'll give it a sec. Give it a sec for the ads.
I do indeed have an ad.
You can skip the ad. I'm going to assume that everybody has skipped the ad. Okay, sorry. Some people got ads. I feel bad talking through the ads. I apologize for anybody. I told it not to do ads very often, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Anyway, apparently you can turn off the numbers thing. I don't know what's the advantage of having them on or off, but somebody else asked a question. Hedgehog, I thought. Oh, yes, that's an orange on the top of my head because capybaras, apparently, there's like a famous picture of capybaras with oranges. I don't actually know if capybaras give a fuck about oranges, but there's a picture. Capybaras with oranges. So now capybaras all have oranges. That's just a thing.
Sci-fi writer is happy about the experience points from watching videos.
Yeah, I imagine some people are like, yeah, give me them points. I want to watch numbers go up. What does the cat have to say about any of this? I don't know. She already left me. She's over there now.
Sitting in your primary chair.
Sitting in my office chair. Cassidy will probably be in that chair. But yeah, she's a very scattered cat. She does not have the patience to sit while I film. Yeah. So I'm just kind of introducing the idea of this book to y'all. Today we'll be doing kind of an Ask Me Anything. So if you have any questions about me, about writing, about the book, about things that loosely pertain to the book, I'll try to answer them. You have questions about horses? Mm-hmm. There are horses in the book. There's a new horse in the book. I can tell you about him. He's great. People have called him a horse himbo. And then in between the AMA and just chatting about this, we will also be doing giveaways. We can put copies of this book, including a very special copy that I will explain when Cassidy gets in here. But the rest of them will be this one. I'll probably give away like 2 of the regular one and then 1 special one, I'm thinking. And also we're readings. That's the third thing I was going to do. I will read a couple of selections from Words in Winter so you can get an idea about whether you think it sounds cool. Because I think that it's important to know whether a book sounds like your kind of thing before you buy it. Important. Or, win it for free.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Hedgehog Dilemma queries, how did you pick the cover? They like it.
This was, the first book is behind me. So it's kind of based off of the first book's cover.
Get it down for you?
You could get it down for me. I wanted to be the best. And then probably stick it back up there. So here's the first cover. So it goes with that same vibe of like things surrounding the title in the middle. And then I wrong book. I hand drew this little version of their wagon in there, and I zhuzhed it up on Canva with a few like little details and stuff like that. But mostly this is done on Canva. And similar to, this didn't happen with this because I knew what I wanted to do with the cover for this, but when I was doing the cover for the first one, similar to always happens, I was trying to do a cool cover and get really, really artistic with it. And I even had like a photograph that I was trying to use, and like everyone hated it, hated it, hated it. And then I went on Canva and just kind of tweaked like one of the covers that was already on Canva and kind of made it my own, and everybody liked that way better. So that is genuine proof that whatever you work on, however hard you work on it, not proportional to how much people are going to like it. In fact, people seem to always like, the same thing happened with Second Floor and my other books. Had a complicated cover that I worked on for days and days and days, and everyone hated except for one person. Hedgehog liked the old cover. And then I just threw this one together with a photo that I had and a couple of elements from Canva, way more liked by people. Because I asked my patrons, by the way, if you become my patron, you get bombarded with my covers as I create them. So I am always asking my patrons, like, how's this look? How's this look? How's this look? And they're like, oh, we should tweak this. Oh, you should adjust that. We need more snow, less snow in this case. Yeah, I used to have a couple of like little elements up here because see, I've got a book and a potion bottle down here. And there used to be ones up on the other two corners as well, but patrons didn't like that. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So I just moved it to these two things. But yeah, that's how I did it. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it.
As an aside, Candybug says, thank goodness for horses. I'm glad horses are real.
Indeed, me too. I'm rather fond of them. Do you want to share your exciting news on that count, Adam?
I suppose we can. Since this is a bookish community, they might actually get the reference as well.
They might.
But we have added to our family last night. Pips came home to join us, so hopefully be his forever home. He is a brown, gelding, four-legged pony with two socks.
He is a bay gelding. So the classic, just brown with like dark around on his legs and mane, and he's got two sockies. And he's not any breed. Like we asked the guy who was selling him what breed is he, and he's like shrug, and I'm like, yeah, that seems right because he's clearly looks a bit like he took parts from one horse and stuck them onto another horse. So that's perfect for here because my horse is an actual potato with legs. So funny looking is encouraged around here. But yes, that is Adam's exciting news. And if anyone recognizes the name of Pips, you don't win anything, but you get extra
Bonus points.
Coolness points. Yeah, you get Adam points. I don't know how you use those, but you get them. Let me just make sure that I got the stream announced several places, not like everywhere, but several places.
And she continues to send out links, catching up on the chat. Hedgehog shares autumn and then winter vibes to the cover. I remember the discussion over the first cover, but they didn't hear you asking for feedback for this one.
Oh, I definitely did. If you go to my Patreon, there's probably still all of those messages there. There's like on the main board, it'll just be like a bunch of sort of identical looking like posts because it'll just be the cover but slightly adjusted. But yeah, this one was easier because I already knew that it had to fit the theme of the previous one. And I already have a basic like template started for the third one, which is going to be green. But I don't know what I'm going to do. Like if I write more, I don't know what colors I'm going to use then. But yeah.
Hot pink.
Hot pink. Eventually, I'll write enough Adventure Mage books that the cover will be hot pink.
All right. So Hedgehog says, I assume Pips is not a reference to the Lord of the Rings. And Quincy's like, Lord of the Rings did pop into my head, but I can't think of why.
We did consider Bill, as in Bill the Pony, but we had decided to not. It is a literary reference, but it's not from Lord of the Rings. You don't have to sneak, Cassidy. They know you're coming. Cassidy's like trying to creep in. Like they'll never know.
It felt necessary. Okay.
She's wearing the most elaborate costume of any of us, and she's trying to sneak in.
I mean, the white face paint didn't work in the end, so it's not as elaborate as I'd hoped.
You definitely, with the white face paint, I saw her with the white face paint before, and you definitely look like you came out of Blackadder. Like.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to post on, sorry. keep chatting. I forgot to post.
There's more posting to do, so I'll catch up on the horse conversation. If a dog can be a mutt, is that a term for horses too?
Kind of. Most people say a grade or a cross, although usually cross is prefaced with like the breeds that it is. So you'd say like a paint cross or a thoroughbred
Keep
cross.
sharing links with your hands.
I'm sorry. I'm a hand talker. This is a problem.
Candybug says, a horse of random assorted ancestry.
Yep. I do think he is part thoroughbred because he's got a thoroughbred head and a thoroughbred tail and thoroughbred legs, but it looked like they stuck him on those on a different horse. I'm guessing paint personally, but that's just my. Speaking of thoroughbreds, though, Bunny, the new horse in this book, is a thoroughbred. Well, their world's equivalent of a thoroughbred. So,
Once again, your hands are not sending out links.
I finished. I sent the links to where
All
I needed to. So, but yes, Bunny is a thoroughbred, and he looks a lot like the thoroughbred that we previously owned. And we had to send on her way to a different home because we weren't a good fit. All right, I'm already too warm. But so Bunny looks a lot like Aldib, a horse that we had before Pips. But are we ready to unveil your costume, Cassidy? You
Oh,
want to
my
come over
costume?
here
Yes.
and like the two of you can
Um,
flank either side and kind of show off.
I don't know if the fabulous shorts, which are the whole reason why I'm wearing
The-
this, will
the-
show up.
Pantaloons. I don't know.
Pantaloons?
I mean, you can put a leg up on an arm, on
Right.
the arm.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can kind of. There you go. Wait. I'll turn it. There we go.
See?
Behold them.
Yeah, they're quite fabulous.
They are. This is, you could, like, I don't know how familiar you are with Blackadder, but you need to get familiar with it, because I think you could cosplay Lord Flashheart really easily with this
Excellent. Okay.
outfit. It's a really,
Yeah,
it's giving
need a
Lord
wig
Flashheart.
and a mustache, but yeah.
I
you
do
can
love
it.
putting on mustaches. For
And his
costumes,
mustache
so.
is notoriously fake and was partially coming off in a scene, and he just kept going
See,
with his mustache
maybe
half hanging off of his face.
he
He's
had
like,
this-
I'm not doing another take.
he had the same issue I was, where that's just right where the sweat is, so it
Yep.
just looked real bad.
It's like literally half off, and he's still talking.
Alright. So we do have to finish the initial horse conversation before we can transition back to your book.
Yes.
I apologize. Has Pips shown any fun personality traits? How is Mouse taking the new company?
Mouse is fucking thrilled. She saw him, and she just like screamed, like fully whinnied at the top of her voice and ran as close as she could get. They're separated by a pasture because you don't like shove horses together right away. It's super dangerous. But she saw him. She's been lonely for the last like 3 months, 2 months, because Miskwa unfortunately passed away. And so Mouse has been very lonely, and so she is over the moon to have a new brother. Absolutely besotted on sight. But his personality so far, he seems to be a pretty steady Eddie, although he's not like so rock solid that stuff doesn't like spook him from time to time. And he loves treats. So he's very treat motivated. So that'll make things pretty easy as far as getting to become his friend.
I think we can move on with one final thing, which is it is not Lord of the Rings, but the series it is from is inspired by Lord of the Rings, and initially kind of like a homage to it in the first book. The book is the Wheel of Time series, and Pips is Matt Calhoun's horse, and it is named after the dots on die because Matt is a gambler and loves to play dice games.
Mm-hmm. And is described in the books as an unassuming brown horse, which is what we purchased.
Mhm. And I am also a nerd and like rolling dice in board games and role-playing games, so Pips
Hedgehog is shading you.
Works for me.
Wheel of Time, yes.
For anybody
shocking.
who's just listening to the stream, Hedgehog says, Wheel of Time. Shocking.
Alright. I'm going for a past comment. Hot Pink, like Summer to the City by Alex Astor. Yeah, Hot Pink can be your summer version.
Oh, God.
Book.
No, now I don't want to do it.
Well, I mean, book 3 is a hot temperate climate in the book. It could be a summer book.
Well, no, book 3 is green. I've already picked that
Oh,
one.
you already picked book
I don't
3
know
green?
what season book 4 is going to take place in, and I don't actually even know what book 4 is going to be about. It's going to be about one of two things, but I haven't decided yet.
Mm-hmm.
Also, somebody did say Pip's like the Sherlock Holmes story. No, but good guess, and I like that you guessed that because it's nice to see another Sherlock Holmes fan.
I believe we are caught up, unless our chat is lagging behind. If we want to show off the special prize.
Oh yeah, I guess I can show off the special prize now. I'm thinking when we get to like half an hour, which will be about 10 minutes away, I'll do a reading and then we'll do a giveaway. But we can talk about the special giveaway. I have like the first version that Cassidy made for me, but Cassidy has gotten into bookbinding. And so for Christmas a while back, she made me this special edition of Adventurer Mage, hand-bound, sprayed edge, hand-painted. So she had the amazing idea to do that for all of you. It's in progress. Okay, so this is in progress. But this is the in progress version of the special edition, one of a kind special edition that we will be giving away to somebody during this stream. So, all right, take it back from me before I ruin it. And hopefully maybe she'll make me another one for Christmas. Giving it away to all of you instead of adding it to my collection. But unfortunately, I think that one will probably only be available to US because it's really expensive to mail stuff overseas. We'll have to see if Adam talks me out of it.
We will investigate. We will have a backup drawing, a backup prize if you are outside of the US and switch things around. But we will see what we can do. Yeah. Maybe we'll be lucky and whoever gets it will be conveniently located. But if not, we'll strategize.
And yes, the books are very, very pretty. And Cassidy basically won Christmas that year, and nobody has defeated her in the Christmas gauntlet since.
To be fair, I don't think another Christmas has hit yet. So
no, there was one in between.
Oh, there was. Okay,
yeah, because I've been slow.
Lost track of years.
The previous year, I published one book a year, pretty much, and I published this Second Floor last year. And so this one this year, and then probably next year is actually going to be my sci-fi that I've been sitting on for a long time. I'm probably going to get that one out next year. And then the year after that is probably when Adventure Mage 3 comes out. However, I might do 2 books in 1 year. We'll find out.
Pressure her. They're both already written.
They are, and the sci-fi one's already edited. It's already been beta read. It's already been sent to my editor. I just need to go back through it one more time and format it. So.
And she wants to start writing Adventure Mage 4, and Adventure Mage 3 is sitting there unpublished.
But I need to write Hearthkeeper's War, which is the fantasy that I'm working on right now, and I need to not switch gears. I can't do that because then I'll never go back to Hearthkeeper's War.
Just write them both simultaneously.
I don't know. No, that's not how my brain works out.
You've done fan fiction while writing other stuff.
Yeah, because that's fan fiction. That's different. It doesn't have to be good. If we're coming up in an ad for some people again in about 40 seconds or so, just a heads up. We'll see who gets the ad. Giorgio, what are you doing? She's been extremely crazy tonight. Just been up, down, in, out, every which way. All right, y'all. In the meantime, as we're coming up and when we're going to do a little reading of this, feel free, as I said, to ask me anything. I mean, I know there's only 14 of you, so I don't know how much we can keep this going with you guys, but whatever comes into your minds, feel free. Candybug wants the cat to come back. Listen, I don't control the cat. I have 0 control. You've met cats. Uh-oh. She's going to get her claw stuck in it if you're not careful. Trying to lure her back with a piece of Cassidy's costume, which is a terrible idea.
There's the ad.
There, some of you have an ad. I have a new Taylor Swift song stuck in my head, and I don't even listen to Taylor Swift. It's just gotten in there via osmosis.
We did miss a
Which
question about a tea.
I don't even know what it's called. It's the one where she's singing about dancing through the lightning strikes, because that's the only verse I've heard.
Da, da, da.
Dun, dun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the name either.
Yeah.
What would be a Valentine-themed tea blend?
Ooh, I really want to do candles and tea. For Valentine, definitely like a sort of a chai kind of comes to my mind, like cinnamon, clove, sort of hearty, warm flavors come into my head. Whereas May would be a lot more herbal, I think, more of a green tea.
Any particular herbs?
I'm bad at naming herbs, so no. I mean, there's always mint, but it just comes into my brain because she already uses mint to like make a lot of her teas. So
And well, she definitely have honey in her tea.
yes, well, honey is her signature ingredient. So, which is important to the magic, even though I don't like actually explain that in the book because they don't know that.
So, Mariah G has become one of your VIPs. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that is either, but good job. They maybe are what is it where people like subscribe but not like extra subscribe. Wow, I'm so eloquent.
Follow?
Yeah.
I think it's like a YouTube
Membership.
Patreon.
Yeah, it's a YouTube membership. Maybe they are a YouTube member. So
Welcome, Mariah G, and thank you. All right, now we've got Quincy Clancy asks, since you mentioned upcoming festivities, is there a midwinter festival in the Adventurer Mage world?
there's a festival that is happening in the course of this story, but we really barely get to see anything of it because it's like a rich people holiday. And so like Maeve and Valentine see some people celebrating it, but they don't celebrate it themselves. It's just sort of like a smaller holiday that rich people use as an excuse to throw a party. And they're just kind of like, okay.
All right, and Croak Mancher concurs. They think it's a channel membership, paying us money. Excellent. Joe Kalaki asks, I'm curious to know how you do when you write series as a pantser. I used to be one, but had to become a plantster to manage my series. Do you have anything planned beforehand?
So not for Adventurer Mage. I do for the Hearthkeeper's War. That's going to be a duology. And the way that I do it is write everything before you publish the first book. That's how I do it. I don't think that's probably the way that most people do it, but I will not be publishing book 1 of the Hearthkeeper's War until I have drafted also book 2 of the Hearthkeeper's War.
There is also, for Adventurer Mage, you have your spouse just keep bothering you and pestering you about the different characters and all the amazing things they could be doing in the world.
Yep. And Adam wants me to write more, and I kind of want to as well. But because all 3 books are drafted, and obviously this one's coming out, I will not be able to retcon like I could when I was drafting all 3 books back to back. Like if I came up with something in book 3 that contradicted something in book 1, I could just go back to book 1, fix it, and then like carry on. Now, if I contradict, I'm just gonna have to retcon like a proper author, like J.K. Rowling or something.
So maybe not the best advice because
I didn't say it was advice. I don't know if that's I mean, I think for a pantser, especially if you're like such a pantser, like I still consider myself like a plantster to some extent. But with Adventurer Mage, I had no idea that there was even going to be a book 2, let alone what was going to be in it.
I asked for 5 right away.
And then I just kept going and I wrote book 3. So it just kind of all fell out of my brain. And I just wrote them back to back. And then I was like, I finished book 3 and I'm like, okay, that's good. I can write something else now.
Joe does appreciate your answer. And Mariah G complains that, dang, I got the membership and then my phone immediately overheated and died.
That'll teach you. It's like, oh no, don't become a member of Julian's channel. I will explode. too chaotic. Don't do it.
If May had to choose which 3 romanticy men to date, kiss, or kill, ditch. Caden, Grim, or Kai. Which one would she
Zayden, Grim, or
date,
Kai.
kiss, or kill?
I think she'd have to just kill all 3 of them because she's asexual, aromantic, so she wouldn't date any of them and she wouldn't kiss any of them. So that only leaves kill.
I mean,
And she has access to some pretty good poison.
Candy did say she could immediately break up with the dude after one date.
But she still has to go on one date. I mean, she wouldn't. Okay, she definitely would have to kill Kai because he's an actual Nazi. So
If it was a mission, she would be willing to date someone.
she would
for an
fake date
objective.
him for a mission to steal his stuff. Okay, but she would kill Kai because he's an actual Nazi.
Who has the most stuff to steal then?
Not Zayden, so she'd probably kiss Zayden. And then that would leave her having to date Grim. Oh, Grim's a ruler. He's got all kinds of stuff. And also, he's really bad. Okay, here's what she would do. Because I'm reading through the Grim section of the novellas that Alex Astor wrote. And we're recapping the part where to defeat a bunch of traps, Grim's plan is to just trigger all of the traps and tank all of the injuries. So Maeve would go on a date with him to a place like that. And then while he was triggering all of the traps, she would cleverly sneak in and take the treasure. And then that date would be over and she'd be like, sucks to be you, bud.
Here's a healing potion.
Yeah. She might leave him with a healing potion if she was feeling nice.
Hedgehog, shamefully admitting they have not finished book 1. Is Titus in book 2?
He is. Briefly. He's also briefly in book 3. If there's a book 4, he's probably going to feature more heavily. But he only makes a cameo in books
Depending on
2 and 3.
he might feature heavily more in book 5. We're not sure which one is book 4 and which one is book 5.
Book 4 or 5 is going to deal more with monsters, but I don't know which is going to be the one. And come on, Hedgehog. Book 2's out now. You might even win a copy. It's not that bad.
All right, we're at the 30-minute mark. If you wish to do a read along.
I'm sorry, I'm looking. What is happening?
Joe's just sitting on top of my bag that's full of things. It is a festival bag. It's not even.
See, the thing about Giorgio is she's one of those cats who sits on stuff. And I say that she's holding it down so it doesn't fly away. So it's just a grocery bag full of like supplies and costume pieces and stuff. And she was fully just sitting on it. To keep it from flying away, Cassidy, you really should appreciate it.
With such a good ruffled collar, it can definitely fly away.
Now has the imprint of her butt on it. So.
Excellent.
So Candybug does say, makes sense, rob Grim of everything he has, just give a reluctant kiss to Zayden, kind of like, oh, you poor puppy dog, kiss on the head, and then rob Kai of his life.
Yeah. All right. So I said I do a reading, and I will do one. Just going to start at the beginning and read for a little while in chapter 1, and then I'll do a second reading and kind of pick a different spot in the story. I might even do the bit with Titus in it, for you, Hedgehog, if your phone hasn't died. I'm sorry if I trip over my words. Even though I have read this 1,000 times to edit it, I still don't actually have it memorized. So that's not how that works. All right, so chapter 1 is called White Manor. Trying to look as though you were wearing a corset when you weren't was a challenge Maeve hadn't predicted when she'd taken up adventuring. Her dress, recently altered by her traveling companion, was sufficiently shaped, but she had always been small-chested and narrow-hipped. Now she pulled her shoulders back so far she worried her neck muscles bulged. She had to look like her spine was being held rigid by fine boning. When she and her cohort, Valentine, had gone shopping for this dress, they had opted to spend their coin on a convincing wig rather than undergarments. Then it had been logical. Now she had regrets, as Sir White turned to cast an appraising gaze up and down her figure. Their host that evening was a mage of no small means. Though he was only a knight, he had managed to obtain and maintain an impressive house, grounds, and stables. But these fineries were not what drew Maeve and Valentine to his door. Sir White walked ahead of Maeve, side by side with Valentine. The two men had chatted all through dinner, and Maeve was happy to let her companion do the heavy lifting when it came to conversation. Now, as they traveled down the plush-carpeted corridor, their host seemed to be taking an interest in Maeve for the first time. This was part of the scheme, but more unsettling than she had expected. His gaze sent cold fingers of disgust across her skin. The man was over a decade her senior. His hair was almost entirely silver, with just a touch of black at the temples. He was stout and walked slowly, as if each step were worthy of forethought. Maeve wished he would pick up his pace every time he took a laborious moment to look over his shoulder at her. He reminded her of a curious turtle in a cravat. Your father, I assume? Valentine distracted Sir White, gesturing at one of the many massive portraits that lined the passage. Eh? Yes. White dragged his watery pale eyes from Maeve and up to the visage of his long-dead parent. A fine gentleman, I assure you. Very powerful, with wind magic as well. The figure in the portrait struck a rugged pose with one boot up on the slat of a fence, hair lightly ruffled as if by a breeze, and surrounded by hounds that gazed up at him with adoration in their eyes. Maeve noted that there wasn't a single portrait of a woman in the entire corridor. Wonderful, Valentine beamed. Maeve watched her friend work with a twinge of jealousy. He fell into character so easily. No matter what Maeve tried, she always felt like an obvious imposter. She couldn't transform her whole countenance at a moment's notice as he did. I assume I assume your father passed those talents on to you, Valentine asked, his accent posh and genteel, nothing like his true one. Oh, indeed. White turned again and winked at Maeve over his shoulder. It was all she could do to force her lips into a weak smile. She knew it must be as unconvincing as her costume, but White didn't seem to notice. They finally reached the parlor where a servant was silently setting out a tea service. The young woman, dressed in simple gray, looked up and immediately locked eyes with Maeve. Maeve's heart stuttered. Could she tell that they had far more in common with Maeve than any noble mage? The maid cut her gaze down again, and Maeve exhaled. Valentine strutted into the room like the peacock he was and rested his hands on the back of one of the three lushly upholstered chairs. Come along then, Clara, he gave White an apologetic look. She's so shy. Maeve clasped her hands before herself and made a study of her boots. If there was one thing she was good at, it was pretending to be meek. Years of working in a mage household had taught her that trick. She walked with measured steps to the chair Valentine had chosen, the one closer to the tea setting. She settled herself into what she hoped was a ladylike pose, ankles together, back straight, gloved hands settled demurely on her lap. She only wished she could manage a blush. White sat across from her and looked her up and down again, as if he realized her frilly, pale blue and white dress was secondhand, he didn't comment. She was glad that high collars were still in fashion, because something with a low neckline would have revealed the old scars that decorated her shoulders and back, truly giving her away. You said she has no talent herself? The question wasn't for Maeve. She was there to be spoken about, not spoken to. She couldn't imagine being a lady like this all the time. Her teeth found the inside of her cheek, but she stopped herself before she bit down hard. Alas, no, she has no magic to speak of. Valentine stood behind her chair, one hand resting on the back. She didn't need to look up to know he was striking a gentlemanly pose. Our parents are both powerful, and I have a great deal of talent, but it seems it missed my sister. He reached down and patted her shoulder sympathetically. With his other hand, he called his own magic. It crackled to life, electric blue sparks jumping across his palm and coiling up his arm. White raised wispy eyebrows. All of you are weather mages. Indeed, Valentine closed his hand, and the crackle of magic ceased, though the air smelled faintly metallic. We feel certain our dear Clara will pass these talents on to our children. After all, what does it matter if a woman has any powers of her own, when she has a husband to provide and protect? Maeve's stomach twisted. Even though it was an act, she hated being referred to like livestock. A heifer ready for breeding. She half expected White to check her feet for soundness. Valentine moved away from her chair, hands clasped behind his back. She watched him out of the corner of her eye. You would never know what he did for a living looking at him tonight, not unless you were paying close attention. He wore a fine coat and a waistcoat with a silver watch chain in his pocket. His dense curls were tamed with magic, and he'd shaved for once. He had the slightly soft figure of a well-heeled gentleman, but Maeve knew he could sprint when he needed to, which was annoyingly often. The only thing that could give him away were his boots, well scuffed, stained, and repaired with mismatched stitching in some places, but no one ever looked at his boots. Valentine kept your attention on his face, his keen hazel eyes and flashing smile. He strode to one of the many laden bookshelves that hemmed the room, brushing his fingertips artfully over a few spines. Quite a collection. Oh, indeed, White leaned forward, real interest shining in his eyes for the first time that night. He grinned at Maeve. At least he had nice teeth. Would you like to see something truly magnificent, Clara? She attempted to flutter her eyelashes, trying to mimic the ladies who had come to flirt with Thomas Reynolds back when she had worked in the Briard household. Acting romantically interested in someone was something even Valentine couldn't teach. What is it? She hoped she sounded sultry. She caught Valentine's wince out of the corner of her eye and knew she hadn't succeeded. Luckily, White was ignoring her again as he pushed painstakingly to his feet and spread his hands. Maeve let out an involuntary gasp as all around the room objects lit up. True to his name, White's magic was pale as polished ivory. It glittered and shone from the rings on his fingers and stretched spiderweb tendrils to touch fans, ornamental spoons, a hairpin, a hat pin, a golden feather, every object Maeve could imagine being a magical focus. Valentine's eyebrows shot up, and she knew this expression wasn't an act. Skies, he breathed. This is extensive. Excessive was the undertone she heard. Quite the collection, eh? And all of them wind focuses, every one. Looks like we know why there's a shortage of them in the countryside, Valentine said jocularly. How many do you keep on your person? Oh, one or two. White touched one of his rings and gave Maeve another wink. Our children will never lack for magical tools. Maeve wrestled the revulsion rising in her throat and managed a smile she hoped didn't look like she was trying to swallow a live centipede. Sorry. I see you guys moving. Do you need my attention? Okay. I'm almost done.
No, continue. We're enjoying ourselves.
If she gazed over his shoulder at the giant marble fireplace and the softly dancing flames she could manage. This one's especially stunning, Valentine prodded what appeared to be a brooch resting in an ornate box. Indeed, White stood and crossed the room to show off his treasures. You have excellent taste. Maeve let out a tense breath. Finally. She flicked her elbow, activating the spring contraption Valentine had invented to keep a dagger up a sleeve. A tiny vial sealed with a wooden stopper slid down the inside of her arm and into her palm. She uncorked it skillfully, barely moving her fingers, then palmed it so it wouldn't spill. Keeping half her attention on Valentine and White, she poured them each some tea. One lump or two, she asked. This time her voice sounded appropriately ladylike, and she silently congratulated herself. One, please, my dear, said White. Maeve ignored the metallic tang of magic in the air as she dripped the contents of the vial into White's tea alongside the sugar cube. Easy as you please. Valentine kept White occupied for several more minutes before both men returned to the table. This time, Valentine plopped down in the chair beside Maeve, slouching just as a spoiled, wealthy mage would. Maeve had already taken a few sips of her tea, and her friend did likewise, though both were watching White. They didn't have to wait long. With one gratifying swig later, and Maeve was feeling like they'd already won. Beside her, Valentine's shoulders relaxed marginally, though no one else would have guessed he was tense. After 3 seasons together, she could read his body language as easily as she could the rhythms of a busy household. Now, young sir, White set his nearly empty cup aside. Why have you come with your sister instead of your father?
Pause for a moment.
Oh, we've got an ad. All right. Hopefully the stream's still going. All right, cool. Why have you come with your sister instead of your father? Father has been laid up with a nasty case of gout, Valentine explained. And anyway, I'm used to chaperoning my sister, though soon I hope to be out of the job, gave White a roguish grin, all teeth and flash. All right then. White clasped his hands in his lap, relaxing into his chair. It's time to get down to brass tacks, shall we? Of course. Your sister is lovely. White nodded to Maeve with what might have been a kind smile. She managed a grimace in return and knew Valentine was judging her lack of acting skills. A bit skinny, and the freckles are unfortunate. Maeve somehow turned a glare into a delicate fluttering of eyelashes. She'd used face power to lighten the freckles that were liberally spread over her pale nose, cheeks, and even her forehead. Valentine had offered to glamour them away, but she vehemently refused. There were still some aspects of magic she would never allow to touch her skin, not after Thomas Briard. Her dowry is tempting, I must say. White leaned forward, resting his arms on his thighs. Don't do that, Maeve warned him in her head, but she remained perfectly still and poised. White's words slurred faintly as he pressed on. I would, of course, love to deal with her father directly, but I trust you have her best interests at heart. Tell me, why has she never been taken to wife before? She was engaged, Valentine let faint sadness slip into his tone. Alas, the fellow was killed in a duel. Maeve had another battle with herself not to kick her companion in the shin. They'd agreed that death by duel was too fanciful. Her fictional beau was meant to have died of fever. It didn't matter. White never had a chance to react. Catch him, Maeve gasped, lunging for their host as he pitched forward towards the tea setting. Together, Maeve and Valentine managed to stop his fall before he could hit the table and send cups and saucers flying. Valentine eased White back into his chair and propped him there while Maeve sprang to her feet and began circling the room, eyeing each focus she had seen glowing in the man's demonstration. I think I'm going to stop there. I don't want it to get to the drugging, the successful drugging.
Quincy says, "Oh, I've been mentally saying Briard and not Briard."
See, I don't even pronounce it the same way twice either, because I think in my head it's Briard, but we've also really exaggerated it to be like Briard.
Well, and when I was first reading it, every time I came across their name, I would read it out loud in a more exaggerated Briard, like every time different and more expounded upon, because they are of course wealthy and hoity-toity, and their name must take up space.
Yeah, their names should take up space. Even though they deserve no respect whatsoever because they're assholes.
But there's assholes with money.
Yes.
And their money deserves respect. They will pay you to respect them. Actually, they won't, but you know, it'd be nice if they did.
It would be nice if they did. I'm letting Adam kind of take charge of the chat as usual. I'm so used to it that I just let him do that. We'll catch up with the chat and then we'll have our first giveaway.
Candybug shares the Isla effect.
See, here's the thing. I don't mind if you mispronounce anything in any of my books because I understand that I'm writing fantasy books and that's just a thing that happens in fantasy books. So like, I'm never going to be like, no, you have to get it right. I don't care as long as you're enjoying the book.
What you should do is if you get super famous and go on tours and do like panels about it, every panel should have someone staged to ask the question and you give a definitive but different answer every time.
It'd be amazing.
Man Denzel says, "Good evening. Glad I made it to the reading. Happy release day."
Welcome in. I hope you caught some of the reading. Didn't sound too bad. I mean, I hate reading my own work, and I'm always judging it constantly, going, I wish I'd written that slightly different, but...
I have missed being read to and demand more of it.
Yeah. Once I get back, for November, you know, for not NaNoWriMo, I am looking to get back into drafting Hearthkeeper's War. So then maybe I'll start reading the first draft to you again, Adam, like I was doing, but then I stopped because I had stopped writing it.
Alternatively, we do have that book from the streamer, the strategy streamer I watched that we could read to each other and judge heavily.
You can read that to me, maybe. All right, so let's get primed. Oh, Adam's running away, but I'll tell you how we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do our first giveaway, and we're going to make it for just the regular version of the book. So I will be sending that to you from Amazon itself, so it can be sent to anywhere, I think. So I don't think we have any restrictions on who could win this, unless you know you're in a country that Amazon won't ship to. But all you have to do is, if you would like to be entered into this giveaway, you go ahead and type your name in the chat. Not yet, when I say go. And then Adam will take down your name. And then once we have everybody's names, he will use a random number generator to pick the winner. And then afterward, you should message me your address, not in the chat. Message me your address, and I will send you your very own copy of Words in Winter. Oh, Nigel's awake. He was sleeping. Oh, sorry. We got to get organized real quick.
No, we're ready. They can start throwing their names in the chat now.
Okay, what are you not gonna be?
Well, it's gonna take them a minute. We need to give them time to put their names in the chat.
All right, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Write your names in the chat, and then Adam will go through the chat and random number generate.
All right. First, Julie must huff this.
Yeah, this brand isn't as good.
So Cassidy is providing the beverage for tonight for us to be drinking, mixed with Coca-Cola. I don't know if I will like it. Her selling point is it has a strong medicinal flavor.
And then you add that to Coca-Cola. That's a choice.
It's an acquired taste. Usually it's really good. This brand, not as good.
Nigel is giving an opinion. All right, everyone's
Hello,
getting their names
Nigel.
in the chat.
I don't have churros for you today.
Uh,
Alright, so this beverage break, what is that even called again?
Fernet.
Real
Fernet.
name-
This beverage break brought to you by Fernet.
Real name and screen name doesn't really matter. I mean, screen name would be easier. It's just to make sure that we get everybody who wants to participate in this.
Alright, I'm collecting and counting, and then as soon as I get my everything noted down, we shall do the die roll.
Hedgehog has simply entered a hedgehog. I still have that stupid song in my head. Nigel, help me. I don't even listen to Taylor Swift, Nigel.
It's stuck in my head.
I think it was in an advertisement, and now it's just there forever.
Yeah.
I was singing it while I was taking care of the chickens. I was like, why?
Oh no.
Bunny says, I like Fernet, but my friends say it tastes like mouthwash. Is that how you pronounce it? Probably not.
Yeah.
Does it taste like mouthwash?
Alright, believe I have everyone. I'm closing it now.
It's just like extra medicinally. There's another brand that I'm blanking on that. This one's just aggressive.
Nigel is sharing his opinion.
I know.
Double check that I make sure I got everybody.
Joe says, I thought it was my cats making noise. Yeah, everybody's checking on their cats in the chat. They're like, what's going on? It's just Nigel. He likes to sing the song of his people. And he wants everyone to pay attention to him. He thinks the stream is about him. All right, Adam is now entering your names in the number generator. So we'll tell you in a moment who has won. And then you will message me on one of my various social medias. I'm Julian Greystoke everywhere. So he might have trouble getting up on your lap if you
Yeah,
want.
I wasn't sure if he
him up.
wanted laps or whatever.
Yeah. He likes to sit on my lap when I'm in that chair, but he might be weirded out by your lap.
I mean, I have nice shorts on, so.
in that
Alright.
outfit.
So our winner for the first round is also our newest VIP,
Oh.
which happens to be Mariah G.
Yay! So, Mariah G, send me a message with your mailing address, and you will be nabbing yourself a copy of Words in Winter. So I'll get that out to you as soon as possible. Yay! We'll do at least one more giveaway for just this, and we'll do one for the fancy one. We'll talk a little bit more, and then we'll do the giveaway for the fancy one because in the middle of the stream here.
Not as bad as I thought.
It grows on you.
It's kind of minty.
Yeah, like it just.
There was
surprises
kind of a
you.
minty note to the smell.
Yeah,
It's like Coca-Cola with a little bit of mint and like something else. Menthol.
yeah.
I
can see that.
Mint and crappy cigarettes.
Yeah.
It does. The smell of it does give somebody who chain smokes.
Yeah.
I grew up with a chain smoker, so perhaps it feels right at home.
Yeah,
Well, and my mom used to drink a lot of Coca-Cola, so really it was just
yeah.
Coca-Cola on one side, my father chain smoking on the other side.
Mariah G shares that their cat came over to the living room where they're listening to you to check out the stranger cat singing.
Nigel does like to sing. He likes to sing the song of his people. All right,
Nigel's
so
confused many people, not only the other cats in chat, but Thomas was also concerned, like, why is my cat singing? I'm so confused.
yeah, everybody's like, oh, is something wrong with my cat? It's just Nigel. He's just singing the song of his people. You can't message me through YouTube anymore. They took away that feature, but I am still on Twitter, although I don't go over there very often. I'll make sure to check it. So if you have Twitter, I have Threads, I have Insta, I have Blue Sky.
They do say they want in on your writing Discord.
I do have the writing Discord, so like if you figure out how to message me, you can send me your Discord handle, or I can send you the link for my Discord chat. So for my not NaNoWriMo that I'm doing. So there's ways. You could probably find me on Discord too. I'm just Julian Greystoke there as well. So I'm just Julian Greystoke everywhere with the same little thumbnail image. So I'm super easy to find.
Mariah G says they'll do it through Blue Sky then, for both things.
There you go. Perfect. I'm pretty much everywhere except TikTok. I had to draw the line somewhere, and I decided it was TikTok.
Arbitrarily.
Yeah, kind of arbitrarily. Like I just don't have a lot of qualities that would make me successful on TikTok. So
I don't know. I'm getting a lot of hate viewers, really get those numbers up.
I don't know if people would even be arsed to hate me. Like I don't think I'm even worth hating on TikTok, honestly. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit more question answer times, unless nobody has questions. I suppose that's a possibility. In which case, Adam and Cassidy can try and pretend you don't know everything about this, because I don't jabber about this all the time.
I don't know as much as Adam does. I only know a few snippets.
Adam gets the brunt of it. He knows all of the magical details about this world and how the magic works that
I get to
even
debate
Valentine and Maeve don't know.
how the magic
That's
should
not
work
fair.
with the deity of the world. Like, have
Yeah.
you thought maybe the magic should work this way?
And I'm like, it does or it doesn't, but hey, that's kind of cool. Or sometimes I legitimately don't know how it works because like it's so much hasn't come up and probably never will that I'm like, I don't know.
All right. I could do that in a little bit. Who is more likely to write a book, Maeve or Valentine?
Maeve, Valentine doesn't have the patience. He would start because Valentine canonically has ADHD, and he would start to write the book. He'd get really enthusiastic about it. He'd get a couple chapters in and get bored. Both the people in the room with ADHD.
I feel seen.
Interestingly, like a lot of people have clocked Maeve as autistic, which was not intentional. So Valentine very intentionally has ADHD. Maeve unintentionally seems to be autistic to a lot of readers, and I'm like, it's the ADHD Autistic Alliance just coming through on the page, baby.
Thomas says they absolutely cannot relate. All right, who would be?
Bunny says, my husband, I feel called out. The question is, how many passion mages also have ADHD? Like, because I don't think it's a
1-to-1.
One-to-one.
It's not 100%.
I think Valentine is a passion mage who happens to also have ADHD, but it does affect his passion being adventuring. There's a lot of variety in adventuring, a lot of different things to do. It's not the same every time, and so that's why it really like draws him and his ADHD brain.
So this is book 1 is out there. People have read. Book 2 is
Mhm.
now just released.
Yeah.
How much of the magic is explained by the end of book 1? Like how many mage types do we know of?
We know of all of the types, but we only learn about the type of component magic that Maeve can do, which Adam knows is barely touching the surface of what component magic can actually do.
Mm-hmm.
We know a lot about Valentine's magic, which is passion magic, which is pretty similar to component magic, except for you don't need an object. And then we know the most, I think, about component magic because it is the most common type of magic, and also consequently the type of magic that took power because mediocrity rises to the top.
Do we have, so this is the second book coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Which magic system, magic type do we learn the most about in book 2?
We attempt to learn more about words of power, but I'll tell you guys this for free. Valentine is wrong in this book about words of power.
Ooh. Like the man's wrong? What?
The man is wrong. So it won't be until book 3 that you actually understand how words of power works. In book 3, we finally really actually find out how words of power works. But because it's been so expunged from their world, from their country, they don't know how it works. And Valentine is basically making an educated guess based on his own research and commonly held beliefs, but he is incorrect.
So we do learn more about words of power in book 2.
He's not wrong about everything, but he's wrong about
Do we learn more about one of the other types though in actuality?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. Like it's pretty much all what we already know. Maeve does learn some new things to make. Oh, we're coming up on an ad. Maeve learns some new recipes, if you will. She branches out from just explosions and tea. But and we meet some more people who can use passion magic. I won't tell you who because that's a spoiler. But yeah. Exclusive info's here live. That is correct. People who don't watch this live will not have any idea that Valentine is wrong about things. Oh, and it's not me retconning either, because you know that I have already finished book 3. It's already drafted. It's not a retcon. It's not me going, no, I like it this way. He's just wrong.
I can attest because I read book 2 before Julian had started book 3, and Valentine was wrong at the time. Yes.
So yeah, he's just wrong, and
He was
that's
wrong
okay.
in the first draft.
He's wrong in the first draft. He continues to be wrong. All right, ads are playing for some people, so we'll kind of just wait for the ads. Adam didn't get ads this time.
Oh, you're not.
I did not either.
The YouTube gods decide at their whim who gets ads and who does not. It is very random.
At least they let you know when they come up, though.
Yeah, it's nice that they're starting to let me know. I feel like they didn't do that before. Candybug says, the man is wrong! Never happens. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Any other questions that people perhaps have?
Man, I've got
Or
more.
can make
I
up?
can
Adam
continue.
can.
Just
All
throw-
is going for a
All the
while.
ones I want to ask are basically like, oh, that might be spoiler information.
Well, Julian
you
can
ask and I can say
read
spoilers.
and find out.
Yeah, read and find out. Isn't that what Brandon Sanderson always says?
It is what Robert Jordan started with, and he eventually got to the point where you just say RAFO, which is the acronym for read and find out. And then Brandon Sanderson inherited that from Robert Jordan, but
Nice,
RAFO.
nice. Sci-fi writer still has not gotten an ad. Wow, you are the blessed one.
Ooh.
You have been chosen.
Not Thomas.
Because I am far too premium for ads.
I didn't realize I was surrounded by the plebs.
I am just a peasant in fancy clothing.
I will say that I do have slight fears that people won't like this one as much as the first one, because it is different. It's not just the first one again. It takes a very different style. It's a bit more meandering. I know that about it. There's a lot of threads that do tie together, but there's a lot of threads. Basically, my mantra when I was starting this is just throw as many problems at Maeve and Valentine as I could and see how they solve it. So the beginning of this book is mostly just problems all the way down, just me stacking problems on these two people. And then the problems will come together and they'll tie in, and some of the problems are related to other problems, but a lot of the first part of this book is problems. Problems of the book. Hey, Nige. You back, bud?
I guess, is there a point where the characters frustrated you as you wrote them?
They don't. I'm not one of those writers who tends to get frustrated by their characters. They probably get frustrated by me.
Yeah.
And this one, they were definitely frustrated by me. Like, lady, can we have less problems? For the love of God, stop giving us things.
There were 3 characters that frustrated me.
Can you tell us who without spoiling?
The kids.
You can't. Okay, yeah.
And the friend.
The kids and the friend.
I'm pretty sure I'm remembering the friend from book 2, but it might be from book 1, but I could have sworn the friend
Is
was
the
book
friend very large?
2. No, not that friend.
Not that.
That friend did not frustrate me.
Okay.
It might be a book 1 friend. These all blur together. These all exist in one time for my brain.
There are some characters that reappear from the first book, obviously. Titus is back, and we briefly see Alistair again, who might be the one that Adam is thinking of.
Quinn shares they were a beta and honestly preferred Adventure MH2.
Oh, very well. Vouching for it.
There we go.
There you go.
All right, question. Between Valentine and Maeve, who is most likely to choose of their own free will to go on an adventure halfway around the world?
Valentine, obviously.
Okay.
Given like if he like had all the money, he would be fucked off to some other continent just for the novelty of it.
Okay.
But he would have to take Maeve with him. That would definitely be what he would choose. Like if Maeve couldn't go with him, he wouldn't. He'd be sad about it, but he wouldn't.
Would book 2 Valentine go without Maeve?
No, I think by book 2, he's pretty well invested in her being his buddy forever and ever and all time.
Okay.
Oh my god, Nigel.
Does
just become the
Titus
Nigel
get
show.
soup? Hedgehog asks.
He gets breakfast. I might read that scene for you guys later.
No soup for Titus.
He doesn't get soup. It's breakfast time. He smells their breakfast and he comes in and he's like, "Where's my breakfast?" And she's like, "Oh my god."
Extra Hero says, "Congrats on the new book release. I still remember being at the release of your first books."
Yay! Welcome. Still here,
That's
still
great
doing
to
the
hear.
thing. Here's the thing about being a writer. When you first release a book, everybody's all excited and it's like, "Oh my gosh, what an achievement, amazing." By the time you're on however many books I'm on, I publish a book and all my friends and family are like, "Yeah, she does that."
Now she's gonna try to make me read it.
Yep. She keeps, one is enough, but she keeps going. Nobody's impressed with you once you've done several books. Somebody was like, I was at a book fair thing trying to sell books, and someone's like, "You're so prolific." And I'm like, "I've got like 5 books. To me, that's not prolific." There's a Nigel hair on my lip. No. Sorry, everyone. Picking at my face, but Nigel got a hair on my lip. It's probably still there. It's be an ongoing thing.
Just lip your licks and swallow.
I'm wearing lipstick. And now cat hair.
Hedgehog disagrees. To them, 5 is prolific. 5 is only their published-ish number 2.
Yeah, I would consider myself prolific in the fact that I have a lot of unpublished books. I counted at one point, and it's over 10.
And that's probably not even counting the White Rose 3 or 4 times.
No. I'm thinking about doing a Patreon video where I explain the plot of my first book. Just because.
And
I didn't share that with everyone.
Has the
OG plot.
Okay, so I was going to ask, has the plot changed?
Significantly. If I wrote it now, it would be almost entirely a different book set in that same world. I have like very loosely the same plot, but yeah, I would tell the version that 13-year-old me wrote about the 13-year-old princess going on adventures. The adventures of totally not Julian's self-insert character. So you want to become a patron or a channel member, you could probably get access to that and make fun of me and all of my dumb child ideas. Although I would like credit for writing a sexy boy with wings way before sexy boys with wings were a thing. 13-year-old Julian, the romantic interest in my OG book was a sexy boy with wings, with crow wings.
That would have been about 05-ish though. There might have been sexy boys with wings out by then. Thief and Bishop had sexy boys.
Yeah, but not like how popular they are right now, though.
I mean, true.
Yeah, like the Maximum Ride series tried. It didn't quite work out.
We had to wait until a quart of whatever and whatever to get our true thirsting after sexy boys with wings. 13-year-old Julian was ahead of her time. Yes, I was. All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So,
Nice.
between Maeve and Valentine, who do you feel's magic is actually more powerful?
It's very dependent on the scenario. Because my knee jerk is to say Maeve, if she had like all the right teachers and like actually knew the extent of how much she could do with her magic, but she doesn't.
See, Maeve, if she prepared, she could win the marathon if she had time to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is very dependent. But I was just curious as what your
It's very
opinion was.
situational, but like, yeah. And now I'm thinking about it. I'm sorry. I was just like lost in thought. Like, oh, Maeve versus Valentine. How would that go down?
I wasn't thinking an actual fight between them. I was just
Yeah.
thinking who is more powerful.
I think, like I said, ultimately with the right teachers, she is more powerful. But like day to day, if he's in the middle of adventuring and doing what he loves, he's very powerful.
Mm-hmm. All right, we are a little bit over an hour in. Do
Okay.
we want to break for our second reading and drawing?
Sure. Should we do the drawing first or the reading first?
Reading first.
Reading first? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go find the Titus scene because that will make Hedgehog happy. Take me a second here. I got to go find it around the cat.
Nigel knows that everybody was praising his presence earlier. Oh, we have another question.
Candybug asks, if Maeve and Valentine had to choose, would they pick a shirt 2 sizes too small of any color or style, like Ren from Silvery Leaf, or a well-fitted wool potato sack to wear?
I think Maeve would pick the potato sack because she doesn't really care. As long as she's like comfortable, she doesn't care what she looks like most of the time. 99% of the time, I think possibly this is why Maeve comes off as autistic. She wears clothing that feels good to her versus like looking good. Valentine needs to look good. So he'd probably go for the too small shirt.
Picture Valentine like a slutty little gupped out feeling himself.
He's got a little bit of a gut too, so he just feels like it's a little like man belly. All right, I have found it. So unless there's another question, I will go ahead and read. Nigel, this is really difficult.
I'm fine.
He's doing great, but he's right where I wanted to set the book on my lap here. So, oh, you'll move. You're gonna get more awkward.
Probably.
Yeah. This. Okay. Oh, are you gonna sit on the arm? Careful, buddy. Your old man balance is not very good. You good? Wow. Thank you. So nice of you. He's like, don't get used to it. All right. Late morning on the Cathar countryside came in sweet and gentle. The sun had long since taken the edge off the biting chill, and the last gleam of frost just clinging to the edges of the grass in the shade. They camped beside a little creek where the water still ran without freezing, though it was too cold to comfortably wash. Maeve made her way back from the mossy bank, bucket in hand, to douse their breakfast fire. She'd thrown together a serving each of boiled eggs and toasted bread, the hearty scent still lingering in the air. Valentine bustled inside the wagon, tidying away their dishes. Maeve couldn't help but daydream of what they might purchase with today's payment. Perhaps some salt and pepper and a bag of good oats for the horses, a bit more honey for her own concoctions. We really should save up, but Sky's salt and pepper would have helped those eggs. Tell me I'm not too late, a familiar gruff voice sounded from the road, and Maeve looked up to see a lanky form hove into view, hands jammed into the pockets of a long, tattered brown coat. Titus, Valentine leaned out of the wagon door, eyes shining. Maeve stifled a groan. The troll was a friend, but also essentially a stomach on legs, determined to milk them for whatever food Maeve would make. Though if she was honest, it wasn't too difficult to praise her into preparing him a meal. Valentine was predisposed to like anything she made, but there was something about an outsider loudly enjoying her cooking that did wonders for her spirits. I'll see if I have a few more eggs, she set down her bucket. Excuse me. Titus, who stopped at the edge of their camp, managed to look mostly aloof, though the corners of his mouth twitched up. Well, I did come all this way. Oh yes, where from? Valentine swung down from the wagon, barely touching the little steps. He was in a far brighter mood that morning than he had any right to be. Even a small challenge like conning White out of a focus counted as adventuring, and those infused her friend with an infuriating amount of energy. Titus humphed and plopped down by the fire as though he belonged, crossing his long legs before him. Where have I been? I've been all over your lousy human countryside. He waved a hand to encompass both the landscape and his disdain for it. But that's not what you care about anyhow, is it, Mage? You're as friendly as ever. Maeve returned to the fire, 2 eggs and what remained of the bread in her arms. Val, can you fetch the cook pot back out? Valentine obliged, and Maeve set out their meager supplies. Titus watched without comment, though she caught the hungry look in his eye. Not for the first time, she wondered what he did for food when he was out on his own. The things that the banished troll got up to most of the time remained a mystery. He caught her watching and sniffed, scratching his sunken, heavily stubbled cheek. I'm not here empty-handed, watchdog, don't worry. I didn't ask. She tried to keep her tone flat, like his, but he must have caught the joke, because the corner of his mouth twitched up again. Anyhow, I might as well make my trip worth it, he said. You've got another job for us? Valentine had brought an extra log, could be an extra long log, to stoke the fire along with the cook pot, and now he looked up, his expression as hungry as the troll's. Maybe, I warn you, it's an odd one. He fished in a coat pocket and produced a folded piece of paper. Valentine took it, unfolding it carefully. From where Maeve sat, it appeared to be a torn bit of newspaper with charcoal scribblings on it. Your spelling remains creative, Titus, Valentine said. Titus made another dismissive noise and refocused on Maeve's work. What is it, Val? She hardly had to pay attention to her preparations, her hands moving automatically. Victor Ward in Langsmith, Titus grumbled. Right, Langsmith. He has a job, and he's already hired a few adventurers, but no one has succeeded, best I can tell, Titus shrugged. Must be a really challenging one. Buddy. He said, I'll get off your lap, but I'm going to scream. A really challenging one. Perfect for us then, Valentine beamed. Maeve's insides squeezed. Was it? What qualified as a really challenging adventure? What if it was something she couldn't handle? Or what if it wasn't something she could handle? If so many people were already hired and failing? She swallowed those worries down and plopped the eggs into the boiling water. While they waited for the meal to cook, Valentine chatted with Titus. The troll had been back to see them a few times over the summer, always bearing notes about possible adventures and an insatiable appetite. It was never completely clear where he came by his information, but this time he let slip that he overheard other adventurers talking about Ward. Complaining, actually, Titus clarified as he eyed the toasting bread. Bunch of amateurs, no doubt, Valentine chuckled. Titus grunted. Anyway, I just pretended I was one of you. He paused to make a gagging sound. I asked them for the address, and they laughed and gave it to me. They didn't seem to think much of my chances. I'm wondering about our chances, but if the pay is good. Maeve used her ladle to pull the eggs from the water, then nudged the toast from the rock beside the flames to a wooden plate. Breakfast is served, she presented it to Titus. Any butter? The troll looked up at her with what she imagined he thought was a sad puppy dog expression. In reality, it took all her will not to laugh as his bushy eyebrows peaked and his mouth turned exaggeratedly down. Maeve clucked her tongue. We don't have much left. Oh, come on, Titus whined. It's a really good job. I hear this fellow is offering a hefty reward, real proper coin, enough to see you lotting eggs for ages. Maeve rolled her eyes, and as much as it hurt, she crossed to the wagon and opened an outer compartment for the little clay container of herbal butter. It had better be. And that is the end of Titus's portion. Unfortunately, that's all we see of our boy in this book. Sorry, Hedgehog.
He's there for the butter, and then he moves on.
Yep. It's got places to be. Important troll business to get up to.
We have an important MC-related question, which is, how old is your fourth MC?
He's, we think, 16. He's quite old. Old and decrepit.
I was going to say 16 or 17, but I can't really remember.
Yeah, I think he's 16. He outlived the dog, and she was 16. So.
Well, we got Nigel first, but Kaylee was older.
She was 3 when we got her. Did we have Nigel for 3 years? I
do not remember.
I don't know. We're going to say he's about 16. He's quite old. He has a lot of health issues, but he's still kicking.
And screaming.
He could drive.
Screaming. He could drive. Yeah, he's old enough to drive. Oh, we got somebody's getting ads right now. Oh,
I'm getting
Adam's getting ads.
I'm not. Haha.
Cassidy is chosen.
This proves I'm the best admin.
The superior one. Nigel's like, I'm not getting ads either.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So this giveaway that we're going to do next is for the big one, the fancy one. Here's the original version that Cassie did of book 1. Hand painted sprayed edges, one of a kind special edition. She will bring over. So work in progress. This one is not finished. She's working on it for you all. Of book 2, one of a kind hardcover special edition. Possibly you might need to be in the US because I'm not sure about mailing this out.
We will put your name in, and if the die gods bless you, we shall see what we can do.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be in communication. Either way, you will win a copy. But this copy you could win with the beautiful silver edges. Obviously, the cover is still being worked on. But yes, I will give it back to you now, Cassidy.
All right.
One of a kind, special edition. Can Audra Winter say that? I don't think so.
You can begin putting your names in. I
Yes.
wrote yours down, Mr. Hoity-toity.
You may
70
now
from Porcelain Cup.
He's very excited and I don't blame him. People should be excited. So put your name in the chat and Adam will, if you want to participate in this drawing, put your name in the chat and Adam will take down your names and we will see if we can win you that amazing
Yes.
one of a kind copy. Meantime, my capybara baby will do a little dance.
I mean, Raji, you might be one of the overseas exceptions that makes it very easy for us because Cassidy has bribed some of the postal staff in Paraguay. So they might be able to get us something to Brazil.
That's true. If you include Cheez-Its in the box,
Oh,
those
good
went
to
over
know.
very well.
Good to know.
Since a lot of things happened to fall out.
Right. Candy Bug says, well, Jillian, you haven't hired 15 to 20 artists for your books. So how do you know how do we know you're serious about books like Audra Winter? Right? I can't, I'm not serious
Joe,
enough.
we can make, if the randomness blesses you, we will endeavor to get it shipped to you. If we are defeated, we'll get to a standard book, but we will make our best attempt.
We'll give it a shot. It will go out into the world and hopefully it will find its home.
We haven't bribed any postal workers in Sweden yet, but you know.
Curious if you just send the book cover flat in a mailer to wrap around the book or
Maybe.
something like that.
Like if we try this and it fails, maybe we try that. I don't know.
I have a few ideas.
Cassidy's scheming. She's scheming.
My natural plotting raccoon state.
All right, I'm seeing 8 names in the chat. I'm going to give it just a moment more, and then I will ask my AI randomizer to spit out a number.
Also, fun fact about the scene that I just read, that scene was put in the latest of any scene. That one was put in after I got my line edits back. I realized that the scene that was in its place wasn't working for me, and I was like, I had been struggling with that scene for a while, and some beta readers were like, we don't love it, but it works. And I'm sitting here going, I agree with them, but I don't know what I would put in its place. And it was so obvious when I finally thought of it. Freaking Titus, he wasn't in the book at all until that scene. Now he's in all 3 books.
In my head, I remember that scene, but I thought I read it before.
I might have had you read it over to spell check it for me because I had already gotten my spelling corrected, and I was giving it to everybody a code to be like, checks for spelling errors before I officially put this in the book. So yeah, that scene was a extremely late edition, but we're happy it's here.
Would you like that again?
Good for Titus.
All right, checking to see if we've got any final additions. Otherwise, I'm going ahead with my next random number.
All right, everybody, the names are in. The numbers will be drawn.
All right.
There's always that one side character. Yep. Titus, he be around.
All right, and randomly selected is Zorzark.
Zorzark, you
Legendary.
are the winner.
Mythical, the monster.
It sounds like Zorzark is a monster. Where did you get your name from, Zorzark? What was
Does
your
that sound like a
inspiration?
Pokemon?
It sounds
Is it?
like a Pokemon, but that's Zorark.
Ah, that's fine.
Yeah. Everybody's sad. Everyone's like, no, not the one of a kind special edition that no one else will have except for maybe Julian for Christmas. Looking at Cassidy with sad eyes.
I
mean,
taking notes.
yours will be different, so it'll still
It's
be one
true.
of a kind.
It will be one of a kind because it won't be exactly the same. But they say it's a combination of a protagonist from an old video game I like and some noises.
But what's the video game?
Mouth sounds is how my brother names a lot of his characters. That's how Speck got his name.
Okay.
He's just like, I don't know, mouth noises. Terranigma?
Huh.
I know a lot of old video games, but Adam might remember it.
I'm now ignoring the chat.
Sorry,
doing
Thomas.
Far more important things.
We will be doing one more giveaway at the end for just a regular copy, Thomas. So you still could win a regular copy, but alas, you have the gods have unfortunately cursed you to not get the super duper uber special edition.
Candybuck says bribing the post office is a better use of money for an author than starting a Kickstarter, hosting a book con, and not delivering.
Yes. If people ever make authors behaving badly videos about me, it'll be because Julian bribed the post office.
Candy or Zorzark asks, "What's the best way to message you again?"
I'm pretty much everywhere. I don't check my Twitter super often because Twitter is evil. I just keep it in case people need to message me there. But I have Threads, I have Instagram, I have Blue Sky, technically have a Facebook. I also am on Discord. I don't know if you're on my Discord anyway, but I'm on Discord. But yeah, I'm Julian Greystoke everywhere. So just like if you can find the Julian Greystoke with this exact same little thumbnail thing, you have found me. Go ahead and message me, and I will hopefully notice your message eventually. I also have a Tumblr, which I've been trying to pay more attention to. So I will be trying to keep an eye on all of those as much as possible. So message me your mailing address and one of those myriad places. I also actually, if you're not on social media at all, my email address is my business email address is also on my YouTube channel. So you can go and find that and email me. So I can be reached. Homing Pigeon, Messenger Crow from Dragon Age, whatever it may be. Somebody does say that a very limited number of Cassidy covers would be a great Kickstarter tier when I fund my own special edition fancy covers. Cassidy's making a facial expression.
I have to get real good at it.
Or just be overpaid for your work. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's true. I could have the overconfidence.
Of a mediocre white man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Or the gay audacity. Either one.
Oh.
Maybe you need both. Hello, Nige. Are you back? Hey, buddy. It's my boy. It's my boy. Let's see. I should be able to find you on Twitter or Discord then. Yes. If you don't hear from me in a little while on Twitter, I try not to go over there too much because it is a dumpster fire. So I'm not ignoring you. I just avoid Twitter. Just haven't deleted it yet. It's just, mostly it's because I like to keep it available if people need to message me on Twitter. Let's see. Someday, surely, I'll get the full 2.5 remake with the orchestral covers of the OST. I think we're talking about the video game. Maybe
Yes.
once they remake all the Star Oceans, they'll do. I had no friends who like the Star Ocean games. I do not play them myself. Adam, were you familiar with that game? I saw you looking it up.
I believe I have played it, but it has been ages. I did not play the whole series, but I did play that one. The little slime monsters on the wiki were like, oh yeah, I've killed some of those things.
I remember murdering those little things.
I might not have finished the game because I would have rented it to play it.
Indeed. All right. So I'm just peering at the chat. I don't read the chat in order. I pick things at random.
Oh, I didn't take off the filter.
Oh no.
I can't find the filter, so I don't know where it went. Hopefully,
3 dots at the top.
yeah,
Oh.
that's all I got.
All right. Mobile is superior, apparently.
I mean, maybe it learned that I want to see
Oh no,
everything.
top chat.
What?
See how it says top chat?
Nope.
Left pin.
Oh, over there.
Yeah.
Not
we're
under the
figuring
3
things
dots
out.
at all.
Much.
All right, what did I miss?
Hopefully not people's
Superior
names in the
admin.
giveaway.
Nah.
We're gonna pretend that it was all fine. There's a yeah, I don't think I missed anything.
I don't think so.
I'm reading through. I have missed things like confound my rotten luck.
There's not a ton of people here, so that makes it easier to not miss stuff.
Yeah.
Versus like if I had a huge chat of like hundreds of people, we would definitely have missed something. But I don't think we missed anything.
No, my list of names was complete. Excellent.
All right, nobody cheated. Cool Imp is here. Hello, Cool Imp.
Welcome, Cool Imp. We've got one last giveaway, and probably we'll twist Julian's arm and do one last reading as well. And about 30 minutes left of our stream this evening.
Indeed. Can either of you or anyone in the chat conjure any questions about this bad boy, so we can pretend we're all interested?
Does either Maeve or Valentine have allergies?
Great question. I don't know. Not food allergies, because that would be a problem.
I mean, peanuts aren't introduced.
That's true. I don't think they have peanuts in their
So,
country.
like, maybe they're definitely allergic
they
to
could
peanuts.
be allergic to peanuts. I just not know.
Or bananas.
I feel like maybe one of them, don't ask me who, might be allergic to cats, and it just hasn't come up.
More weird questions. If
I
Maeve
love
and
weird
Valentine
questions.
had to choose, what mythical animal, dragon, griffin, or giant cat would they ride on?
Well, now that I've established that one of them might be allergic to cats. In the third book, they encounter dragons. So if you asked them from the two of them from the third book, they would say absolutely not the dragon, because dragons are huge and scary in this universe. Like,
Is that
fucking enormous.
a spoiler? Are you willing to drop already?
The next book is called Dragons of the New World, so I think the title kind of
Have you
spoils it.
published the title anywhere even though?
Patrons know.
Oh, okay.
And anybody who read it when I was drafting it on Wattpad knows.
Oh, I didn't realize you drafted it on Wattpad.
I did. I drafted all three of these books on Wattpad. They are no longer on Wattpad for obvious reasons, but
I need to revive my Wattpad account, apparently.
the first chapter of the first draft of Hearthkeeper's War is on my Wattpad right now.
All right. So you've shared they would not.
They would
ride
not
a
ride a
dragon
dragon because
or
they're
a cat, a
petrified.
giant cat.
I guess
But-
that just kind of leaves Griffin.
So what magical animal creature would they ride?
By process of elimination, I think that leaves Griffin. Was Griffin that?
Wow.
Yeah, Griffin. I think Griffin.
All right.
Although, actually, no, they couldn't, because in this universe, it's mentioned in book 1, Griffins in this universe are tiny. They're about the size of a cat.
So they'll have to like Jack Sparrow it and use like their back hair to rope together ropes to fly away on a herd of griffins.
Yeah.
No, it'll be is it Freya, whose chariot is
It's pulled by
pulled by
cats.
cats?
Oh, yeah.
Instead,
Chariot pulled by Griffins.
yes.
A griffin, I believe, unless I cut it out, is mentioned very briefly in book 1 in a tree, and they're cat size. They're small.
Alright.
Small griffin.
I'm gonna jump a question real quick and get a shorter one, and then come back to a longer one.
Okay.
What would Val and Maeve read for fun?
Valentine struggles to read for fun. Like, he likes it in concept, but he has a hard time with his attention span. Again, you know, as you do. And they don't have audiobooks in this time period.
So what would he make Maeve read to him?
He, I mean, to be a cliche, he'd probably make Maeve read him adventure stories. Their
All right.
universe is
And what would
equivalent
Maeve
to.
prefer to be reading?
Maeve reads nonfiction for fun.
Hmm.
Like, she likes to study for fun. That's fun for her.
Okay.
She's not beating those autism allegations.
All right. So here's our longer question. And other people, feel free to keep throwing your questions in the chat. We'll get to what we can. The longer question is, can you explain the magic system Ovid of AME is asking?
Okay, so the basics are there are 4 types of magic. And they seem really separate, but by book 3, we find out that they're not so separate, but mild spoilers. So the main one, and the one that is prevalent in Cathar, which is the country where Valentine and Maeve live, is component magic. People who can use component magic can only produce magic when they have a magical item called a focus on their person. So if you take away their focus, they're just a guy. No magic whatsoever, useless. That's why many people carry multiple focuses on them. Usually they have one that is their strongest one, and then if that gets taken away, they still have options. The second kind is passion magic, which is the kind that Valentine has, where you can use magic without a focus at any time. However, it is tied to what you are passionate about in your life. So you could be a painter. And when you're painting, that's when your magic is strongest. You could be an adventurer like Val, and that when he is adventuring, his magic is strongest. His mother loves to study and read. So when she's studying, her magic is the strongest. And her magic often manifests as like tentacles that come out and grab books for her and find things for her. You see it in book 1. Adam's giving me a look. But like if she's trying to study and she wants to find something specific, her magic goes out and like finds it and brings back like certain books for her, coming up in an ad pretty soon. So that's loosely, that's like the overview. And then there is component magic, which is what Maeve has, which has a lot of utility, but Maeve doesn't know that yet. Yes, Adam?
What did you call focus magic?
Focus magic?
Yeah.
That's what I called it.
No, you didn't. I think you used component magic there, actually.
Oh, did I do? Oh, I'm sorry. Focus magic is the first one. I'm sorry if I used the wrong word there. Focus magic is the first one. Sorry to be confusing. So component magic is what Maeve has, and she can create magic when she cooks mostly, or creates something with her hands, basically. She has to do a majority of the creation of the thing. So like she can't just, she could assemble a sandwich and perhaps imbue some magic into it, but if she baked the bread
Round the mustard
herself, and yeah, the more that she has her hands in the thing, the more magic
slow
she
roasted
puts
the
in.
ham that
Yeah.
was sliced for the sandwich.
Yeah, all right. Wait, some people got an advertisement. Wait for that to...
I mean, they will be able to catch up.
All right, what is the
And the
final?
last one is Words of Power, which is, as far as we know, does not need any kind of magical component. And if you know, it's basically only limited by how much you can memorize. So certain words correspond with certain magics. So if you know the word for that magic, you can do it. As far as we know.
And those
I
are
will
the
leave it at
four.
that because that is going to be more in future book.
And that is the 4 known types of magic in the world. But there are more.
Adam's making that up. I don't currently have plans for there to be, but like within those, there's a lot of variety even within them because everybody's got specializations that they're kind of born with, and that tends to be elemental. So it's like, what color does your magic become? So Valentine's magic, for example, is electric blue, and his magic usually appears as electric blue. There's also, what are you most powerful with? He's most powerful with electricity magic. But he's least powerful. He's got absolutely no skill with healing magic. So there's a huge variety even among the 4 types of magic.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm going to pay attention to the chat for a moment.
There's a long
Hedgehog
explanation,
says,
sorry.
so Val would be a bad beta reader.
He would. He would start out and get bored.
Coolant shares, one of my works is so vile. Wattpad is bad for sure.
Oh my. Not even Wattpad? Wow.
Mundinzel
There's stuff
asks
on
if they weren't in a fantasy novel, what genre would they fit into or enjoy being part of?
They would fit best into historical fiction because this world is based on a Victorian-esque setting. They live in basically not England.
Quincy asks, we know there are trolls, but what other species are there?
You will meet some in this.
Is it just a raffo, or are you actually going to share
No,
something?
they gotta read it.
Rappa.
You want to meet some more monsters, you
out.
gotta read it. Ha! I was waiting to do that about one of them.
So Hedgehog asks, Could you have writer's block as a passion mage or the equivalent?
I don't know. Because, like, just kind of using Valentine to go off of, he never gets sick of adventuring. Like, he would be adventuring 24/7 if given the opportunity. So I think.
But what if your passion is writing?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a writer could have writer's block.
Because I would say my passion is writing. Like, I would probably be passion mage and it would be writing. And I never actually feel like I get, like, traditional writer's block that other people get. Like, I might get stuck from time to time, but I've never felt the need to say I have writer's block. Like, it's usually pretty easy for me to push through or move past whatever it is. So I don't know if I'm a good example, but
You might not be.
I might be a bad
You might
example.
be biased.
Everybody tag yourself though. What kind of mage would you be?
Headcanon, Boots' protagonist was component magic for inventing.
He kind of was.
I would most likely be a component mage myself.
Adam, yeah, Adam likes to cook, and so he would definitely be a component mage.
You need to make a online quiz.
I did once.
You did?
I don't know where it is. I made one ages ago when I made book 1, and I have no idea what site I made it on, what my password would be for said site,
Dang.
whatever happened to it.
I'll have to do some digging.
Did you have a type of magic you considered adding to the world but then ruled out? It's Monday asks.
Not really. Every book or series that I write has a different universe. So the magic for this universe just kind of happened, and it was the magic that it was supposed to be, and so I wrote it. I know, not very deep, but being a pantser, sometimes there's just not really deep answers for some things.
But then I get to poke and prod at that.
Adam does get to poke and prod at it. Like, honestly, a lot of people say, like, this is a soft magic system, and I'm like, you can call it a soft magic system if you want, but it's harder than people give it credit for. They just don't know all of the rules because of the way that I write.
We don't have to have the info dump chapter about all of the mechanics for the magic.
Mm-hmm. There are rules, and there's a lot of them, and I know them.
And we fight about them.
And we fight about them. But they don't super come up in the books because that's not what these books are about.
I don't know if it is the best or worst type of argument to have with your spouse, how the rules of their magic system work, but
Quinn Clancy asks, can you explain what skies means in the world from your earlier reading?
Yes, skies refers to the sky gods, which you will hear more about in Words in Winter. Neither Valentine nor Maeve really worship the sky gods, but it came about because I wanted characters to say what on earth, and then I'm like, they're not on earth. What would they say instead? So they say what under the skies. And then I was like, well, I've capitalized skies. That means there must be a reason. So the sky gods happened. And so they worship this group of gods that are in the sky. And there's a whole bunch of them, a huge amount of gods, more gods than probably the priests have even cataloged. But they take turns. So every day you're being watched over by a different god. So, which is one of the things that Maeve doesn't like about it, because she's like, I have no control, and like I never know when I'm being watched over by with this or that god. And you can be born under bad skies, which is people believe that they are unlucky because the god that was watching over them that day was a bad one. So yeah, that's what skies means. So it's kind of like when they say what under the skies, that's me just being replacing what on earth. But it slowly became like an exclamation that they say. Instead of gods, they also don't say gods, they say skies.
Yeah.
Candybug asks, if Maeve and Valentine had to choose which romanticy lady with amazing stats and skills but high in maturity would they let join their party? They have to take one of these three. Isla, Violet, or Payton.
It has to be Violet. Because Isla is, because both Payton is an absolutely useless brick. And Isla has a lot of powers, but she's dumber than a box of rocks. And also way too random. So Maeve would get hugely frustrated because Isla would wander off on 8 million side quests and not use her powers for anything helpful. So I think by default, Violet wins.
All right. Cool Imp shares a traumatic moment of their history, but that leads into a question, which is there necromancy in your book?
Not in this one. No. Adam's raising his eyebrows at me. I think there is, okay, I'll hedge. I think there may exist scenarios in which necromancy may be possible.
Didn't we have a death mage foci in the first book, if I recall?
Yes. And it's kind of like necromancy, but like not, like kind of, like, I don't know. It's not how I traditionally think of necromancy.
Yeah, I could see ways where necromancy would work, like reanimating
long-term.
corpses
Like long
in
term.
your world,
Yeah.
but like definitely not a traditional necromancy.
Like a death mage could, in our world, can, like, they, in the first book, they encounter like a death focus or whatever that has summoned up a swamp of undead. But like, it's not how I traditionally think of necromancy. I think of it more as like long-term summoning of the dead, but
probably not like a lich. There's probably not
Yeah.
liches in this world.
That's like more what I think of.
But there are, like, there's death magic, and you can do things with corpses. Probably all mages have a path to do things with corpses.
Yeah, everybody has a path to do something with a corpse, I think, but
Desecrating a corpse.
Right. Magic lady with magic tentacles, and people doing things, everyone doing things with corpses.
I don't do a lot of that in these books.
All right. Okay, we got that one. Coolin, I was writing, okay, this is their tragic backstory. I was writing it when my mother decided to trauma dump on me for 4.5 hours. It took a character struggling with the evils of necromancy and turned it into a book about an evil necromancer demasking.
All right.
And that's their book that's probably too unhinged for Wattpad.
I don't know, man. That sounds ideal.
I'd read it.
Yeah.
So Joe mentions it is interesting about your comments about probably not having writer's block as a passion mage, because they have never had writer's block either, but their brother experiences it frequently.
I know a lot of people who get it, and I'm like, I mean, I get stuck from time to time, and I lose enthusiasm from time to time, but like I've never been at a place where I would sit down and like not be able to crack out some words.
Hedgehog says they'd be a normie, and I think Quincy Clancy agrees with Hedgehogs that they would also be a normie.
Ah, that's the thing. There's no such thing as people without magic in Adventurer Mage. Everybody has magic. It's kind of like a metaphor. Everybody has magic. It's a lot of people don't know that they have magic. So like there's children running around who are focus mages who have no idea because they're too poor. They're too poor for their family to have been tested, or they just have never been tested. And there's people like Maeve, component mages, running around who have no idea that they're doing magic when they do their craft. So yeah, but everybody has magic.
Moodenswell mentions, I wonder right now what mage I'd be. Not sure. Maybe fashion mage though. Candybug is surprised that we don't have a whole lecture chapter where a character explains a numerical formula to show how much magic energy it takes to physically convert magic matter.
Oh, I do want to say that's one thing I really wanted to do with this book, because there's so many books where it's like we have the magic people and the not magic people, and they're separated. I really wanted to have a world where we think that that's the case, and then we learn that that is not the case, that everybody has magic. And there's multiple kinds, and all of those kinds should actually maybe be working together.
All right. Hedgehog mentions first book had bog zombies, and we kind of agree, like, but not traditional lich.
Yeah, I'm thinking necromancer, like, you know, like Manfred from Dragon Age, like long term.
Amy says Payton is dumb as a box of bricks. I couldn't agree more. Coolin continues their story, and that wasn't traumatizing. Well, my mother doing that annoyed me so much, and I was trapped in a car with her, so I couldn't escape it, and then it affected the book heavily.
Hey, that happens. That happens. All right, we're gonna catch up with the chat, and then we're gonna do our last giveaway.
Hedgehogs are all focus mages. Hedgehog says, are all focus mages rich jerks?
Not all of them, but they do tend to be, because again, mediocrity rises to the top. It's the easiest type of mage to identify yourself as, really.
And if you have the money,
And if you
get
have the
it.
money, you can have all of the objects that allow you to be powerful. But also, we do see other people in this book. We see more regular people who are focus mages, kind of going about their lives.
Candybug mentions bringing Payton along with your adventuring group would be self-sabotage. Bringing Isla would be an act of frustration, giving her unwillingness to train. Violet is minimally able to do something.
Violet at least can be sometimes competent.
Mundinzel says, I like that there's potential beyond book 3 for the world, the characters, although I don't know how it ends yet, but still.
Yeah, there's definitely potential. Each of these books is a lot more like a season of a TV show than it is like a continuing, like overarching story. So it makes it really easy for me to dip in and out of it.
Hedgehog says, I can component a strongly worded letter.
I was waiting for you to read that one.
Be even better if you make the paper yourself.
And ink.
With ink.
Yeah, whoever reads it just feels really bad.
I'd pay for
They're
those.
like, I don't understand, but reading this letter has hurt me.
Welcome, John Young. John Young has joined us. He asks, how are you doing and what is the reason to create Words in Winter?
Much like all of my other books, the characters told me to do it, so I did it. Keeping it fairly succinct, in 2020 I wrote Adventurer Mage, and then I had more for these characters to do, so I kept going, and I wrote Words in Winter, and then I wrote the third book, which is called Dragons of the New World, and there may be more, but I'm taking a break to write other things, and then there may be more.
To write things in parallel.
Yeah, I'm barely scraping by writing in Hearthkeeper's
That's because you're
Corner.
editing too much.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Well, now I'm done editing this, so I can focus again on.
Okay, your books need editing, but you're spending too much of your authorial time editing instead of authoring.
Oh, you mean editing for other people?
No,
That's my job?
I mean your own
Oh.
stuff.
I don't edit as I go, so not really. But all right.
All right.
Catch up with
Hedgehog
that chat
says, some are broke jerks for focus mages. But kind of nepo babies. And then Coolant asks, have you seen Gachiakuta? Because they have a focus fetish-based magic system in a hole full of junk.
I have not. I have not even heard of it, I don't think.
Gachiakuta. Yeah, I might be pronouncing that right.
All right, I've got 8 minutes left.
All right,
Do you
we
want
gotta
to
do
do a
another-
final reading,
we
or do you just
gotta-
want to do the final giveaway?
Let's do the giveaway and see how much time we have left.
All right.
All right, so you're going to be winning, again, a regular copy of this. So how are you going to do this is you write your name in the chat. Adam will write down all of your names. If you want to participate in this giveaway, you write your names in the chat. Adam will write down your names, and then when everyone has finished, we will announce who is the winner of a copy of this.
Yes.
So
yes.
if you want to participate, get those names in that chat.
Put those names in that chat, and I will take those names.
I've still got this on in my
While I was tempted to, I did not read the book while I was binding it. I was like, I must wait.
Let's slow you down slightly.
Yep.
I could let you borrow this copy, although I need to. I like to use it to do like mini readings on my Instagram and stuff.
Mine's on its way.
Oh.
That buy now feature was used.
Excellent, excellent. Nigel is
I
very.
have about another 60
comfy
seconds
now.
or so, and then we will kick off the randomizer.
The randomizer will be activated. Fetch the randomizer. Then we got an ad coming up here for people.
Be like, right away, my lady.
Comes in whatever the heck a randomizer looks like on the tray.
All I need is like that little plastic trumpet. That'll be perfect right now.
I don't know if one of you sent it to me, but I watched a video. They've 3D printed. They've got a program so you can 3D print truly random die now, but it
Ooh.
comes down to they're not die-shaped dice, but they're
Mm.
other shaped dice that are based on like the weight of the thing you're printing. So there's literally a D3 that is a dragon. And there's only 3 ways that the dragon can fall and be stable. So you like
Okay.
toss it and it's
That's fun. We need to involve that in our next TTRPG.
could do. There's even a D1 that they've designed from this mathematical program.
So is it like a one? Like, how does that work?
It's like a orbish shape, and it has 2 balance points. One that is stable. The other balance point, and now I'm getting my commercial.
We're learning so much.
The second balance point is unstable. So it is theoretically possible for it to balance there, but as soon as any force is applied, it'll tip over and go to the stable balance
Okay,
point.
but that's how you would get like your nat 20 if it lands and balances on that balance point.
Well, I mean, it's a D1, so
Yeah.
it should only ever land on
But
one.
like
So
your
it's not
D1
really,
version of that.
I suppose,
So it's
yeah.
a circle with a defect on it.
Kinda, like a sphere with a defect on it, kinda.
All right, have you got all the names, Adam?
I am double checking.
I think a
Yes,
new one just.
I
Have you got sci-fi
all
writer?
of the names on it. Sci-fi writer is down.
Okay.
So we are.
We went off on a
got that.
tangent there, everyone. I hope that gave you plenty of time to write your names down. All right, we're doing the random number generator. Adam is burping.
That's
Alright. And then this is going to be I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Blame us favoritism.
Uh-oh.
Hedgehog dilemma is
Oh
our
no,
winner.
it's not favoritism because it's actually a punishment for Hedgehog. Now she
they
has
have
to
to
finish
read it.
reading the first one. Whoop.
I was laughing too hard.
Cassie's dropping shit. Hedgehog, I know where you live, so although I could either hand you a copy or I could mail it to you, and you should probably resend me your address because I don't probably remember what that is. So whichever you would prefer. If you want to wait a little bit longer, I can get a copy and physically hand it to you, or give me your address somehow and I'll mail it to you. You decide.
Grabs, hand off your address to me tomorrow.
Hedgehog says, "This is my 10 of coins." Tarot reference. This is your luck. All right.
4 minutes remaining.
4 minutes remaining before
What?
we're gonna go roller skating.
One last read along or 2 more questions?
I don't know. What do you? I don't know. Could read. I could read the back, but the back has this like strip across it that will like get in the way of my reading.
Candybug shares out of context Julian quote. I know where you live.
We need you doing a Liam Neeson.
Ominous Julian quote. All right, I'm gonna try opening to a random page and just read whatever's there, and then unless it's a spoiler.
They're all spoilers.
No, that's a spoiler. Okay. I think this one's not too much of a spoiler. I'm going to read a little bit. It's completely random because I just opened to a random page. So, just like a gentleman to take a poor girl and drag her along at his whim. Did you marry her or are you just using her? Maeve knew the words were meant to rankle Valentine, but it only stoked her own anger. Give me back my pistol, bitch. Bard smirked and patted her narrow hip, hidden by her own long coat. It's mine now. You remember that smoke I used before? That's only a tiny taste of my power. Maeve's fingers numbed around her explosive vial. She was squeezing it so tightly. She wasn't about to toss it inside a building, but Bard didn't know that. Give me back my pistol. Maeve, Valentine sounded concerned in her ear. While I admire your initiative, we aren't going to make any headway here. If we fight guild members in the hall, our membership will be revoked. Then let's take this outside, Maeve said before her mind caught up with her mouth. Settle down. You can't just go challenging people to street fights. She locked eyes with Bard. Bard, who was taller, broader of shoulder, and dressed like a man. Bard, who should have been intimidating if Maeve wasn't so furious. Then again, Maeve had faced trolls in their true form. Had Bard? What's your focus? Bard flicked her chin at Maeve's direction. Thinking of stealing that too? It's more powerful than yours. I know you haven't got a wind focus, Maeve snapped. Bard stopped, mouth open to retort. Her magic flared around her hands. Bard, the short woman grabbed her friend's arm. Maeve, Valentine's hand landed lightly on her shoulder. What's this? A new voice joined the fray. A slash of deep green magic flared between the two parties, forming a shimmering wall. Maeve staggered a few steps back, ruining her aggressive posture. I'm gonna leave you all there.
I know.
But yes, Maeve gets very pissed off and wants to do a murder.
All right.
Don't steal her pistol. That makes her very cross.
We have a final question from Hedgehog, and it might be my favorite question of the night. Is component magic used to make focuses?
Maybe. I'll never tell.
Pinky.
Who can say? Who's to say how focuses are made?
Julie and I have discussed this.
I know, but I think it doesn't. It comes up in book 3. I think we finally learn in book 3.
We get an I don't know as well. We learn a way that focuses are made in book 3.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't, I don't think we clearly answer Hedgehog's question in book 3.
We don't, but we kind of do. Anyway, long story short, maybe.
Rappo, gotta wait till book 3.
Yep.
I.e., pressure Julian to hurry up and get book 3 out and or book 4 written.
But you gotta read book 2 first, Hedgehog. You gotta read book 2.
I'm like doubly curious.
All right. We are at our 2-hour mark. Thank you all so much for joining in. We are gonna go costume roller skating.
Yes.
And have a good night. We have to feed Adam's horse first, though. I did not get him his dinner, so we got to remember.
And get the skates in the bag.
Yeah, and bring the skates. Those are really important for roller skating. Roller skates. Nigel has fully settled in on my lap, and I'm going to have to disturb him. I feel so bad. Yay, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and listening and hanging out and winning books. And don't forget to send me your addresses, however you want to do that, so I can send you books. And take the horses with you to the skating rink. Oh, you guys got to come over here and say goodbye. Yes, got to get the goodbye.
Oh, of course.
Yes. And your two MCs, more popular than me, let's be real.
Our three of
And
the 4
Nigel is here.
MCs.
I'm not going to
Nigel's
disturb
also
him.
here.
All right. Everybody ready?
Always ready.
3, 2, 1. Bye.
Bye.
And now I have to do the ending stream thing. There we go.